Oh man, this story is absolutely hilarious because it is the most subtle dig of all time. So this is in the Washington Post. Awkward Americans see themselves in Ron DeSantis. Oh man, this guy is a creep. This guy's a weirdo. This guy's an introvert. He should never be around people. But I relate to that. High key, I'm in the same boat, man. There's times I've defended him with his awkwardness. I'm like, he's just introvert. He doesn't want to be around people. I don't blame him. It's like I'm the same way. I mean, I might seem like I'm super extroverted because I do this show, but I like alone time. That's what I like. I like just being with Crystal, hanging out, watching some Netflix thing, whatever, playing some golf. I'm better in front of a big crowd where I'm giving a speech than I am like one-on-one. And I think there's probably a lot of people who do a similar thing like I do who feel the same way. And clearly Ron DeSantis is not the best in crowds, where he has to go one by one and like go talk to everybody. So here, let's go through some of this. It's hilarious. After watching awkward video of Ron DeSantis, Derek Guy had a horrifying realization. Guy, a fashion writer known as the menswear guy, to his large following on social media, had noticed people on X, formerly known as Twitter, making fun of the Florida governor and Republican presidential hopeful for throwing off weird vibes on the campaign trail. Some of these moments have been captured on video, as things tend to be during a presidential campaign. DeSantis struggling to make small talk with voters, bursting into strange paroxysms of wide-mouth laughter, appearing to sugar shame a child drinking an icy at an Iowa fair. "What's your name?" DeSantis asked a voter in a recent clip from a New Hampshire dinner. "Tim," the man responds. "Okay," DeSantis says DeSantis. Look, I get it. I don't understand people who are good at small talk. Small talk is small for a reason. Like, it's totally meaningless. Like, real interesting stuff, like actual debates and conversations, like, that's cool. I like that. But, like, just the small talk, like, "Hey, how's grandma doing?" "Grandma's great, bro." Like, I gotta keep it real, man. I don't really care how your grandma's. I don't know your grandma. Like, what do you want me to say, right? And like, on that front, yeah, he was super awkward, but it's also like, I would totally be awkward too sometimes like that. And if I'm not, it's just because I'm good at shutting off the brain and just sort of reacting in real time. You know what I mean? But am I there? Not really. So maybe I'm giving away too much information about myself here, but this is kind of relatable, not gonna lie. In another video from a party after the Iowa GOP's Lincoln dinner, DeSantis stands ramrod straight, taking gulps of beer and checking the time on his phone and telling potential voters that normally he would already be asleep. Come on, man, that's me. That is based and that is me. If it's like 9 o'clock and I'm still out of the house, it's like, bruh, I am way past my bedtime here. I'm old now, man. I'm not young anymore. I'm not in college anymore. I'm in my mid-30s, homie. I'm trying to post up and watch some shit on Netflix. Like, that's what I'm trying to do. As he sought to connect with voters and donors, critics said DeSantis had resembled, to quote a couple of posts, a robot put together from scrapped spare parts from Disney's The Hall of Presidents, or an extraterrestrial in a skin suit trying to learn to be human. But when Guy, the menswear writer, watched a video of DeSantis cycling through 4 different facial expressions in about 3 seconds during a news conference, he saw something even more disturbing. "Oh God," he remembers saying to himself, "that's me." The governor's anti-charisma, his apparent struggles to make small talk, his propensity for letting a smile fall too quickly from his face reminded Guy of himself at parties, or the time he had no idea what to say after a fan of his fashion writing recognized him at a tailoring shop. It was exactly like those DeSantis moments, he said. A normal human being would understand how to light up your face, how to engage, how to say the right thing, but DeSantis doesn't have that, and I definitely don't have that. Guy's not the only awkward American who has identified with DeSantis as he has emerged as the awkward candidate. Like Ron DeSantis, I spend every day trying to act like a human, said Michelle Witherspoon, an environmental consultant in California. Every time I watch the videos, I cringe, said Kate Eck, a therapist from New Jersey who recently forgot to bring identification when picking up her child at summer camp and subsequently really weirded out a counselor by offering to show her C-section scars, proof of motherhood. But I'm cringing because I've been that person. It's extremely relatable to me, said Audrey Kamina, an incoming freshman to Yale University who said she once called her high school history teacher mom and still thinks about it every night before bed. Alex Whitlock, a stay-at-home dad and a never-Trump Republican from West Virginia, found himself relating to DeSantis after reading an article that mentioned that the governor made people uncomfortable with his propensity to devour food during meetings. "I don't always have an appropriate sense of when to eat or not eat," said Whitlock, who also said he rarely knows when he's supposed to shake someone's hand. All right, we don't need to go on, but it goes on with that stuff. Here's the difference between it being charming and it being genuinely weird. If Ron DeSantis acknowledged, yeah, man, I'm really awkward. Like, I'm not good interpersonally. I struggle with those interactions. I'm more of an introvert. I want to be on my own and relaxed and all that stuff. If you're just wear it on your sleeve. Yes, I'm awkward. Yes, that I'm not the best in these social situations. Yeah, it's kind of funny when I do the facial expressions or when there's an awkward exchange. Like, all of a sudden, all's forgiven. Because it's the acknowledgement of your own awkwardness that somehow magically makes it not awkward. And I feel like that's what happens to me, too. Like, I'm genuinely kind of awkward and not the best interpersonally. But the fact that I acknowledge it up front is disarming. And then everybody's like, well, you're not really awkward because you know you're awkward. And somebody who's really awkward wouldn't know that they're awkward. You understand what I'm saying? And so that's his big flaw, is that it's like it's forced, it's really put on, and it just doesn't land because he's not being honest with himself about his own awkwardness. He doesn't own it. He doesn't wear it on his sleeve. It's what Tyrion Lannister said in Game of Thrones when he was talking to Jon Snow at the beginning of the show. And he's like, yeah, okay, you're a bastard. But you know what? Wear the fact that you're a bastard on your sleeve, and then nobody could weaponize it against you. Just like Tyrion wears the fact that he's a dwarf on his sleeve, and nobody can weaponize it against him. Wear it like a badge of honor. And that's the reality. To every awkward American out there watching this, first of all, I'm one of you. Welcome to the club. Second of all, just wear it like a badge. It's okay. It happens. Not everybody's going to be, not everybody's going to be phenomenal in every single social situation. It's very rare that you find somebody who is good in every single social situation. One-on-one, one-on-two, in front of a whole group, or whatever it might be. So that's the problem here. So people are relating to DeSantis, particularly because it's super brutal when you see him in a lot of these back and forths. And if he would just sort of acknowledge, like, yeah, okay, I'm not the best interpersonally. It is what it is. And it's like, all of a sudden it becomes like, oh, he's not good interpersonally, as opposed to like, ugh, he's really weird interpersonally. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, check out the rest of this article. I think it's a really good article. It's such a subtle dig at DeSantis, but all of it is totally true. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.